Hello everyone. As you can see, today we're doing things a little bit differently. Today's episode of Things Scott Likes is all about extra virgin olive oil. Basically, we're doing a blind tasting of what should have been 8 and will turn out to be 9 of them. And rather than explain the history of extra virgin olive oil and how it is made and all that stuff, background stuff, I'm just going to tell you the problem and how we got here. The problem is this. Lucini. Lucini has been my go-to extra virgin olive oil for a couple of years now, like 2 or 3 years. Before then, I was just kind of like buying whatever I saw in the supermarket that looked interesting or cheap, and using that. And I sort of spent a period when I was experimenting with different things, and I finally landed on this. Lucini makes an all-Italian version, which is outrageously expensive. I instead went more for the Argentinian version, which I thought was just about as good. And I've been enjoying that for a couple of years, and then it kind of disappeared from store shelves here in Chicago. Like, I just couldn't find it anymore. There's the organic version, which I don't like as much for some reason. So in a panic, when I couldn't find my Lucini, I went ahead and bought this, because it was on sale. You're seeing a pattern here. This is the Carapelli 100% Italian. It was cheap, it was on sale, and I did not like it when we brought this home. It was just... I didn't like it. I found it extremely basic, but it is one of these 9 here, so it might impress me. And so I was very upset, and I did a whole big search around the Chicago area to figure out who was selling basic Lucini. And it turns out Meyer, or Meyer, whatever, the store with the gas stations, that store, they had it. So I grabbed one from there. And the thing is, this is no longer Argentinian. They're calling this the Everyday, and this is now a multi-country blend. Let me tell you what this particular batch is. It is 13% California, 20% Argentina, 26% Portugal, 41% Spain. And that's fine, but when I got it home and popped it open for my parched extra virgin olive oil lips, I wasn't super feeling it anymore. It wasn't whatever they've done. This is just not hitting the same happy spot as old Argentinian Lucini was. So what I have done is I've gone out and I bought a whole mass of different olive oils, and we're just going to taste them out. So what have I got here? We've got Lucini Everyday. Here is one of these. Probably the most expensive thing here, actually. We have got the Carapelli. It's the only all-Italian one. No PGI declared on this, but it does say 100% Italian. What else did I buy? What else are we going to try out today? Well, I was so I went by things that looked cool and were highly recommended. This is one of the ones that was highly recommended. Terra Delyssa. This is a entirely Tunisian olive oil. So that's pretty cool. I know absolutely nothing else about this. Yeah, product of Tunisia. But I should tell you the sell by and harvest dates on these, because most of them have that. Lucini Everyday is harvest year 2024, used by November 26th. The Carapelli, we're gonna dot our T's. We're gonna do this properly. The Carapelli 100% Italian is harvest 2024-25, and best by August 15th, 26. The Terra Delyssa, there's no harvest date, but it expires August 2027. So that's in there. No harvest date. That's usually not a great sign, but it's not a defeating sign. This one I grabbed because it's the only PGI that I saw, and it was extremely cheap. This was $9 for a 500 milliliter at Trader Joe's. It is Trader Joe's Greek extra virgin olive oil from the island of Crete, and that is a PGI, so that's Pretty neat. I barely even touched this, but it is no harvest date, best used by January 27. I have a lot of olive oil to get through. If you're a fan of the channel, hit me up if you need some extra olive oil, I guess. What else? Oh, yeah. This was another highly recommended one. Graza, the new hotness among the extra virgin olive oil crowd. This is the Sizzle. They also make an upper level version called the Drizzle. I went with this because it was on sale and because I'm just not going to fork up for high-end olive oil, folks. But this is all from Spain, from Jaén, Spain. And that's pretty cool. Let's see. Best by June 2027. Oh, harvest November 24. All right, we're coming to the end here. I decided to buy a bunch of ones marked robust because that sounded exciting to me. What did I get? I got Partanna. This was actually an old favorite of mine. Not the robust, the basic one. Was an old favorite of mine in my college days, but I kind of got away from it. A very, very old brand. They come in tins sometime. Now, this looks very, very Sicilian. Nothing on this bottle says it's all Italian olive oil, though, so it's probably not. But it is marked fruity and vibrant and robust, and that sounds exciting. Harvest date 24-25, and best if used by December 26. That goes right there. I'm gonna have some water. More robust. This was cheap and looked interesting. Pompeian. Big brand. Comes in a crappy plastic bottle, but it does say robust. Where's this from? So they have a big old list of countries on the back, and there's like a little country code. If you squint your eyes and you get the light on it, you can tell this is from Chile and Spain and Tunisia. And, I mean, footnote, one of the problems with the big brands that source from a ton of different places is you're probably not going to get the same bottle twice. I know they're going to blend to a consistent standard, but if this is awesome, I may not be able to get the same awesomeness again, just because they're going through so many different lots in a big brand like this. But we're going to try it out. It says robust and it's cheap. There it goes. One more robust. I was highly recommended to try Cobram Estate. And I was torn between getting the California... what the hell was that? the California Select, which is kind of upper level-y stuff, or the robust flavor. And I got the robust flavor because that sounds more exciting to me. 100% Californian. This is America's entry to this list. And... harvest October, November 24. Best if used by December 26. Did I mention the Pompeian is... Pompeian, I can't even read. I think it's used by 27 sometime. Whatever. Oh, so that was going to be my lineup, right? That was the... Get off of there. That was going to be the 8. But there was a last-minute entry. And here it is. This was tucked in the back of the cabinet when I was pulling out the others. I found it. I don't remember buying this. It's Tassos, another Greek Cretan olive oil. I think Wife Good must have bought this when I wasn't looking. Now, technically... I was torn whether to throw this in or not because it is technically expired. This expired back in November. But I tried it out. I sautéed some bell pepper and garlic in it last night. It tasted fine. It smells fine. It hadn't even been opened. So in it goes. But that being said, if it gets a bad result, it may not necessarily be its fault. And actually, that's something to talk about maybe more broadly. People have very strong feelings about extra virgin olive oil. And that has not been helped by a long campaign of, I don't know if I should call it scaremongering, but let's say rumor spreading about the lack of purity of extra virgin olive oil. people are very worried that their extra virgin olive oil is being cut with seed oils, which are very bad and will give them the Tylenols and give their children, autism or something. But that doesn't actually seem to be going on. I will link below to a study based at Yale, funded by the olive oil folks, so not unbiased by any means, but looks like a legit study where they basically tested a ton of extra virgin olive oils and some non-extra virgin olive oils. And among the extra virgins, they tested about 150 bottles and found one instance where it had of adulteration. And that was in the bottle that cost, if you price it out to a 500 ml, it was about $5. So I guess the lesson to learn is don't buy the $5 bottles of extra virgin olive oil if you're worried about this. Now, that study is also clear to point out, and I think they're right, that just because your extra virgin olive oil has not been adulterated does not mean it's good. There's a lot of crappy extra virgin olive oil out there. There's a lot of old, spoiled extra virgin olive oil out there. And yeah, it is something to be aware of, even if it actually hasn't had a whole bunch of other stuff dumped into it. So just a little footnote about all this. Let's get to the darn tasting. Here's what I'm going to do. We're going to do 2 rounds. For the first round, I've got my little half teaspoon here, and I'm just going to taste these. I have a spit bucket if I need it. And I'm going to taste them. I'm going to describe them to the extent that I have an olive oil description palette, which I don't. I will do the best I can. And we'll kind of work through, and then we'll go back through them again with bread. I will tear off some bread. I will dip it in. I will try the olive oil with the bread. And then we'll give them some final scores. I will score these 0 to 5 olives. That will be our scoring system. I will also reserve the right to add a butter emoji or a spicy chile emoji, to the extent that any of these really deliver on the butteriness or the spiciness. But yeah, that's hopefully at the end of this, we'll have a couple of olive oils that I like. Maybe, ideally, a couple of different kinds of olive oils that I like, but we shall see. All right, let's kick off. Olive oil A. Let's give this a shot. I'm going to get some in. All right, here we go. Oh, wait, I should describe. Color looks like olive oil. Look kind of half yellow-brown, half green. Smell. It smells like olive oil. I'm going to be saying that a lot, probably. There's a light fruitiness to this. It's certainly grassy. There is a light herbaceous element to this, maybe like a slight sage kind of thing. Even a tarragon element. So yeah, there's some aromatics here. It smells very nice. Let's see what happens on the palate. Olive oil A. Not my favorite so far, at least not on the palate, at least not in this context. There's a nice kick of grassy pepper at the back end of this, kind of hitting my throat. But on the palate, mainly, it's a little bit thin. It tastes a little bit kind of thin, basic. There's like a little hint of not even butter, like a little margarine, maybe. Not very fruity. It's quite neutral, and you get a little kick up back here. I don't hate it. It feels serviceable, but I have no emotions about this olive oil. I think it might perform better with bread. We shall see. All right, moving on to olive oil to olive oil B. Lighter on the nose. Not getting much out of this one. It smells like olive oil, but it's just like a much more pulled back version of this. Yeah, this one was throwing me more fruit and a little bit more of an herbaceous thing. This is just, I mean, very, very little going on. It smells quite light. All right, let's see what happens with the taste on the palate. I mean, now I feel like I might have been too unkind to olive oil A. I mean, this one is even thinner on the palate. It again has a little bit of spice in the back end, but it just feels thin and light, serviceable, but not something I want to. Not something I'm super excited about. Yeah, there's a little bit of, Both of these, to some extent, are like nothing, 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 and then kick of grass and spice in the back end. Interesting. So far, I do like A little bit better. It smells better and more interesting and has a little bit more going on in general. But neither of these are killing it for me. All right, moving on to 3C. I'm sorry, olive oil C. Noticeably darker in color and greener in color. We're kind of getting to a forest green with this one. But also not very interesting on the nose. There's almost like a wet towel thing going on with this. Like a towel that's drying on the rack. It smells kind of damp. A little bit of a light herbal thing. Not particularly fruity. But yeah, I'm liking the herbs. I'm liking the dampness aspect of this. but mostly smells like olive oil. And that's like, okay. All right. I'm gonna taste this one. Ooh. Different from the first two. So, these first two really take until it gets into your lungs, into your throat, to kind of wake up and start doing stuff. This one has like a really distinctive, not distinct. I mean, it tastes like olive oil. I shouldn't say distinctive, but this has some flavor and some, creaminess happening, like on the palate before the swallow. Yeah, like a little bit of a chewing on a wet towel kind of thing. It's nice. A little musty. Like a little half vegetal, like a little nod towards like a vegetable drawer you just haven't cleaned out in a while. But nice. Yeah. If I could combine the arrival and palate behavior of C with the way this thing that A kicks on the back end, on the throat, we would really have something. I would really enjoy that. But so far, not completely blown away by any of these. Let's move on. Oh no, the olive oil is leaking through the cups. Uh-oh. Hopefully I can still read the answers at the end of this. All right, olive oil D. We might have to step up the speed on this. Okay, much more open on the nose with D. Yeah, okay. Smells a little bit like a wet dirt thing, like post storm mud with some rocks. A little bit of like damp towel in there too. There is a butteriness to this that I'm enjoying. A little bit grassy. A slight bit of tarragon on this too. A little bit herbaceous. See what happens on the palate. Ooh. Ooh. Super duper bitter. Jesus. That has an attack on it. This might be one of the robust ones. I'm not sure. Okay. Let me try this again. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm overwhelmed by the assault of like bitterness and spice and like grassy aggression. Not on the back end, not in the throat so much, but like on the sides of my mouth as I'm tasting it. On the palate. Now that I'm ready for it. Oh, big boy. Very, very buttery at the start. You know, like butter-covered damp towel with a little mud, which I'm enjoying, and then it just like smacks you hard. Actually, now it is getting into my throat. In the throat, on the sides of your face, with intense, spicy, grassy bitterness. It's a lot. I think I like this. But it's one I would use in particular kinds of situations. Ooh. This will probably shine with bread, but we shall see. All right, let's move on to olive oil E. Very yellow in color. Wow. This is the, I should say the lightest in color, but the one kind of leaning yellowest to the spectrum. On the nose, it smells like olive oil. But nice. I mean, it's there's a little bit of fruit. It's not very herbaceous. We're kind of straight on fruit and grass again. No musty towel this time. What is the fruit that olive oil smells like? I have to think about that one. I mean, olives, but yeah. And it smells like nice olive oil. On the palate, here we go. Feels like something that's kind of, we're going back to what was going on with this crowd, with cups A and B. Kind of neutral on the palate initially, and there's a little snap of bitterness and spice on the back end. It's pleasant enough. But there's not a whole lot to it. Hold on, let me try it again. Maybe I'm being unkind. Yeah, maybe has a little bit more going on, a little bit more character on the arrival than the first two, or at least B. But yeah, it feels like we're in the same territory with those two. Of course, you know what these are because I put them down below. I don't know what these are though. All right, moving on to F, which again we're kind of in a darker color here, but we're still firmly at olive. You know, we're halfway in between green and yellows. Very light on the nose. I mean, yeah, it smells muddy. Not a lot of fruit. You know, mud stuff. Yeah, it smells fine. It smells like olive oil, like on the earthier end of olive oil, like on the muddier end. I've been running this channel too long. I was tempted just then to just take a shot of it. That would have ended badly. Nope, let's use our half teaspoon here. Okay, there's a little bit of like a sesame oil thing to this, which I'm enjoying. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's nice. It has a sort of buttery sesame oil thing on the front end. Nothing happening in my throat. It's on the lighter end of things. Reminds me a little bit of what was the lighter one? Was it C? I think it was C, the one that had more kind of, it wasn't kicking me in the throat, but had a little bit more character on the palate. It feels like these two are relatively closer in character. Yeah, wish there was a little bit more on the back, but whatever. I like it. Nothing here so far has been like unusable. So that's good. All right, let's move on to G here. Again, we're kind of in olive color territory, between yellow and green. Smells like olive oil. We are getting damp towel now. Some grassiness. Even a hint of spice, like a little bit of like a used hot pepper, but not much. Get some your mud again. Not a whole lot of fruit, but certainly some herbaceousness. Maybe some sage grass. Damp flowers, maybe. Fun nose on the palate. Here we go. Whoop. Not. Oh Jesus. That one sneaks up on you. Wow. Yeah. What was the other one that kind of just kicked me in the face? It was D or E. I think it was D. Kind of not showing its hand at all on the arrival, and then man, on the back end, it starts heating up, and then it really heats up. Let me tell you something. I've really fallen in love with using olive oils in the last couple of years because I have kids, and my kids don't like me using spices of any kind. They just object. But I can sneak a little bit of olive oil into something just to give it some character, and they don't complain too much. This feels like something I could like use for that purpose, just to give something some spice without actually adding spice. Yeah. Yeah, it feels like, again, pretty light, neutral on the arrival, and then it just, wham, attacks the throat with grass and chili pepper, and that is fun. I don't know if it's better than the other one that did that. Was it D? I think it was D. It was one of these, somewhere in these two. But yeah, we're up there. So these are kind of separating themselves into groups now. You know what? What am I doing? I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, H, olive oil H, is again pretty light in color. We're on the yellow end of things here. So, ooh. One of the fruitier ones of the bunch. I mean, to the extent that olive oils actually smell fruity, and not whatever that fruit is. I don't know. It's the fruitier side of olive oil. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Fruity. There is some damp mud kind of going on as well. Oh, this might be the best nose of the bunch. Wow. It's very pretty. It's like a little bit of a sunflower seed thing. Yeah, it smells seedy. Fruity and seedy. There's some grassiness there. There's maybe some, what herbs am I thinking of? Maybe a little bit of like parsley, you know, some mixed herbs. Very pretty nose. Okay, let's see what we got on the palate. Ooh. This one gets a butter emoji. Really, really buttery on the arrival. Very little grassy, spicy kick on the back end. Mild in character, but definitely brings like some heft on the palate. And yeah, a buttery sensation, which I'm enjoying. Yeah, I mean, super duper nice. Not, I mean, it's buttery, it's soft, but it's doing buttery and soft really, really well. If you want a spicy, aggressive olive oil, this is not going to be the one, but it's delicious. All right, and last up, olive oil. Again, we're kind of in the middle color-wise. It's olive-colored. Very, very light on the nose. Come on. There's a little bit of wet mud. Come on. It smells like light olive oil. I mean, you know. Not super duper forthcoming right now. Yeah. Yeah, I got nothing. Sorry. It's not giving me much on the aromatics. But let's see what happens in the palate. No, this is, it's a little bit awkward. It's a little bit, I mean, it's thin, but it's awkward at the same time. Let me see if I can puzzle my head around this. Yeah, there's some bitter herbs on the front end. So there's nothing happening on the in the throat and the tonsils. It's pretty clear on that. Yeah, there's some herbaceous, interesting stuff going on, but it's not particularly delicious. Yeah, one more time. You know what? I'm going to group these I'm going to put these in different groups. Yeah, this, for me, I have to go through these again, but for me, by memory, this might be my least favorite of the bunch. But I'm going to group these together because it's just too much to process right now. Kind of, how did I have these before? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to split these up into groups. I'm going to split these up into the ones which are a little bit thin on the front end but have a spicy kick on the back end. Into the ones that feel a little bit more buttery on the palate, but don't do a lot on the back end, and then the ones that really, really like just are huge bombs. If I can remember what those are. All right, I'm losing my place here. All right, A, B, H was a bomb, right? No. Yeah, maybe this is a bad idea. No, that's how I'm going to do it. Let's do it that way. H, and then G was what? Oh, yeah. Oh, Jesus. I'm going to put that aside. G goes together. Wait, no, H was... What was this again? No, this was the super buttery one. Right, so that's going to go with, like, C, probably? C was also kind of buttery. I'm messing everything up. Hold on. I'll save this. Yeah, D was quite aggressive. I think it was F that was quite aggressive. No, what am I doing? I'm messing all this up. Oh, Jesus! I'm blind on myself. Whatever. I don't remember what letter that was. Anyways, I'm going to put it over here. Give me a second. I'm going to pause this and figure this out. All right. I think I figured out a way where I feel like it would make sense to kind of taste these things together. Okay, so I've reordered these into roughly 4 groups. No, four-ish groups. First of all, I'm going to taste out these ones, which were the more heavy palate, light on the back end, butteryish ones, although some more buttery than others, which were C and F and H. And then I've got I here because I don't know where else to put it. I was probably my least favorite. I found it just kind of awkward. I've got A and B, which were the mildly spicy ones. As I recall. And then we have got D, E, and G, which were more on the spicy end for my palate. And we're just going to taste them in this new order because I think it makes more sense to kind of compare these in this way. So we're going to break out the bread, and we'll see what happens. All right, starting out with C. C with bread is delicious. It feels pretty light, honestly. Let me try this again. It's nice. It has a nice texture. It's very forgiving. It's lovely. But it doesn't make me excited. I'm going to give this like 3 olives out of 100. And should I give it a butter emoji? No, I'm not going to give it... No, 3 olives out of 5, sorry. I'm not going to give it a butter emoji because it's not that buttery. But we're edging in that direction. I'm going to try F. Oh, try with bread. With bread. God, I'm messing this up. Sorry, everyone. I like F too. It's behaves in a lot of ways like C. Like how do I put this? It's a little bit like a grassier variation on C. Let me try C one more time. Fine, nice. F. Yeah, F is pretty darn good, actually. I like F a lot. I'm going to give it 3+ olives. I'm already messing up my scoring system. All right, and H. H, I think, was one of my favorites. Right. Bread. I need bread. I'm just going to dig into the middle here. H with bread is fabulous. Oh, damn. Did I mess this up? Hold on. so good. With the bread, it's actually spicier than without the bread. There is some pepper manifesting when you have it with food. But when you just kind of use your little teaspoony thing like this, it's just very, very, very buttery. I like this a lot. Score-wise, let's give it the full 5 olives. I like this a lot. 5 olives with some butter. And we reveal what these are as we go. Well, I guess as we finish. I was probably my least favorite in the first round, but let's try with some bread. See if it comes alive. I'm making a mess. It does not. Unlike Frampton, it does not come alive. Okay. I mean, it tastes like something, so I can't really hate on it. But it's just awkward and a little thin and a little sad, and I don't like it very much. So I will give this 1 olive plus, and that's all it gets. Let's move on. All right, A, B were the starters. I remember these being more thin on the front end, a little more having a little bit more of a spicy kick on the finish. So here's a little bit of bread for A. Oh, okay. Yeah, A has a journey. B's going to have a journey too. Starts out, it just feels like thin oil, nothing going on. And then kind of the bitterness and the pepper grow on you a little bit as it develops. I think this is pretty good too. Let me try it on some. You know, maybe I don't think I was giving this enough credit on the first run through because this was the first one I tried. But this is pretty good. Is it beating the, what was this? F? Let me try F again. I think it's better than F. This is a 4. 4 olives for this one. Yeah, I like it. B. This one I thought was like a less exciting version of A. It's a little bit of bread here. Not similar. Feels a little thin. A little thin. Interesting. I did not get the pepper on the back end of that. Let's try it with this teaspoon. Okay, yeah, little bit. It just feels like a lighter version of the same profile. So it's better than I here by a lot. Is it better than C? No, C's better. I will give this 2 or 2 plus. I will give this a 2. 2 olives. I think it's fine. It's very serviceable, but wow. Okay, so I really A was a lot better than B, like a lot by a lot. But I mean, same genre, but of extra virgin olive oil, but A is just better at what it's doing. Okay, moving on to the spice bombs, as I remember them, anyways. Okay, let's do D. These are beasts. Okay. Yeah, behaves better with the bread. Yeah, oof. It has a kick, but yeah, I don't find it delicious. I feel like if you've added maybe 25% of this into a better, lighter olive oil, maybe a better olive oil, it would work out. But yeah, it's got some spice to it. It's got a kick. It's going to get the chili emoji. Jesus, I'm getting olive oil all over myself. Ooh. But especially after having tried these and these, it's just not. It's not delicious. Is it better than B? Let me try B again. It's got more going on than B. I'm not sure it's that much better. I will give this 2+ olives. 2 olives plus. And a little chili. Because it's a spicy boy. But yeah, it has a really a grassy bitterness, which I would like better if there was some more, attractive context to it. Moving on. It's going to be it's going to be the Lucini, isn't it? All right. Right. This is E, which I also remember being a spicy boy. Not so much. Oh, right, bread. Nope, it's there. Ooh. Oh, yeah, has a nice fun. It's like in some ways, it respects a better version of D here. A much better version of D, actually. On its own, yeah. No, I'm being too unkind to this. It feels balanced. It feels poised. It's got some spice to it. Maybe not that I could probably give it the chili. Oh yeah, because it's filling up. My throat is feeling it right now. It's taking a while. Maybe a hair bit thin on the front end. It's not perfect. Is it beating what has it got to beat? It's got to beat A, right? A and F would probably be the closest competition score-wise. Try E again. Yeah, I think these are pretty close. Stylistically have some differences, but I think A and E are. I'm gonna give E a 4 olive rating as well, and I will give it the chili because it's a spicy boy. Well, it takes a while to get there. It really needs to build up. And finally, G. Right, bread. I'm messing everything up. Bread. Dip. Here we go. Oh. G is just no nonsense. This has got to be one of the robust ones. Oh, Jesus. Ah. Ha. G is probably the spiciest thing on the table. Hold on, let me try the D again. Yeah, G is probably the spiciest thing on the table. Jesus. Yeah, it just lights you up, man. Peppery, grassy, herbaceous, aggressive, but has some texture. Has, you have to like this style. You have to be willing to accept the outrageous degree of vegetal spicy aggression that this olive oil is bringing to you. But if you can roll with it, I think this is fabulous. Is it beating H? I don't know if it's beating H. Let's try H one more time. It's close. I mean, very different styles. H is buttery and soft and happy and comforting with a little bit of a spicy kick. This is all spicy kick, but it brings the detail to kind of back it up. Ugh. Score-wise, I feel like, well, hold on. Let me try E one more time. I'm not used to scoring olive oil, so I'm taking a while with this. Bear with me. I think this is better. Well, you know what? I'm actually gonna drop the chili from 4. It's got spice, but it doesn't have anywhere near as much as these two here. So I'm gonna give. I mean, 4. I'm sorry. G gets 4 plus olives, and it gets it most definitely gets the chili pepper. And yeah, that is the that is the lineup, such as this. So, what were my favorite? Let's do these from worst to best. If we unveil them, it was my least favorite. I found this awkward and a little bit thin. It was not my favorite, and I was. Wait. Oh no, this was the Terra Delyssa. I did not like the Terra Delyssa. I'm sorry, Tunisia. This was not my favorite. Okay. Sorry, those of you who recommend me the Terra Delyssa. All right. Next up in my list was it was B, which I just found to be like a less good version of A. And B was Pompeian, robust, interesting. They're calling this robust. I just found it to be like a pretty basic olive oil, honestly. Has a little bit of spice in the back end, but just it's okay. So maybe not for people who want a robust olive oil, but for people who want just a serviceable olive oil that was like $7, this will do. And apparently I like it more than the Terra Delyssa. So yeah, we're getting the cheapies out of the way first. Like, I guess I have expensive tastes. All right, next up, at a score of 2 olives plus was the D, and D was Campagnolo, Italy, which is here. Yeah. Okay, this was spicier than wow. I don't remember this being a spice bomb at all, but apparently so because I gave it a chili. It was not my favorite, but I did rank it above some others, so clearly it's doing okay. All right, next up, I got some 3s in here, right? Yeah, 3. Olive oil C was a 3, and that was Cobram. Really? Hold on. This Cobram Robust did not taste robust to me. Yeah, I thought this one was one of the buttery ones. Again, it if you come to this looking for robust, I mean, the rest of these are going to be the Partanna is going to be one of these, right? Again, if you come into this looking for just a nice, serviceable olive oil with some nice texture, you will like this. If you want robust, I don't think this is it. All right, what else we got? We got some 3+ in here, right? Yes. F was a 3+, and yeah, that was the Tassos, Greece, showing up, despite the fact that it expired. Tassos with 3+ olives, and let's speed this up. Okay, we got some 4s. First 4 was A, which was the Trader Joe's Greek. I like this. Little bit of a. It took some time to grow on me, and I think it was maybe because I was trying it first. But yeah, this is okay. This is totally okay. It does have a kick on the back end, but yeah, it grew on me. There's something on the front to enjoy, and if you like the a grassy, spicy attack on your throat, here it is. And for $9, that's pretty good. All right, so we are down to the last 3. 4, another 4. So tied with the Trader Joe's. This was the Lucini managed a 4, despite the fact that I didn't like it as much as its predecessors. This is still doing okay. Lucini. I was torn between whether to give this a pepper or not. Ended up not, but it's right on that edge. Yeah, Lucini's still rolling with 4 olives. Good on it, which leaves these 2. One of these is my favorite. All right, okay. The 4+ over here, it's the Partanna. It's the Partanna Robust. This is a beast. This is an absolute beast of an olive oil. Respect it. You might hate it, but respect it. 4+ olives and a chili emoji. And that means your winner has to be, the Graza Sizzle. I mean, I guess the hype is correct. This is very, very good. It's very, very buttery. And when you're eating with food, there's a nice kind of spicy, herbaceous character that comes out. Yeah, there we go. So that is the video. I'm sure you didn't expect me to put up an hour's worth of olive oil content on your feed today, but here we are. Thank you for watching. Sorry, Terra Delyssa. See y'all later, and cheers.